All right, we've got the May market report. So it's June, middle of June right now, 2025. And we've got some big changes happening right in front of our eyes. I'm going to break this all down for you. Is the market crashing? Is there going to be a big reset? Should you be worried about your home value? Is now a great time to buy? Is now like a really bad time to sell? I'm going to break that all down for you, starting with the data, just like I do each and every month. My name is Mike Novak. I am an agent for the Novak real estate team right here in Snohomish County. This is our backyard. I live here. I work here. This is my community. And so I want to share with you the data so you can understand what's happening. Maybe you're hearing rumors at work or on the news on what's happening. But what really matters is what are the facts? What are the facts right here in our hyper-local market? What's happening on the East Coast or the Midwest has very little to do with what's happening right here in Snohomish County. So this is your hyper-local market report. So you know from a fact-based position exactly what's happening. So you'll see I've shared the market update, and you're going to see 2025 in the middle column, and then you can see 2024 on the left and the change. So we're going to start with the new listings, and they're up 17%. And we've seen this a lot across the board. Sellers have been listing their homes this year in droves. Like there's been a lot of new listings coming on, and this is resulting in a lot of inventory that's coming on the market as well. I believe that a lot of sellers that did not want to sell in 2023 and 2024 because of very low rates they had on their houses are deciding that now is the time they still have to make a move. There's people that want to make a move, and there's people that have to make a move. And the people that have to make a move, I think, are listing their houses. They're just saying, hey, I don't think we're going to get back to 3 or 4% rates. So let's go ahead and get on with life. And let's suck it up and let's go ahead and get this home sold and buy something else that suits us better, whether if it's changing locations, features, whatever else, you know what I mean? But 17% is a big jump in inventory. Like this is very noticeable. And I think we're going to see the impact of this for months to come. I think that number is going to keep rising. So pending sales are up about 14%. So there's a fair amount of homes going under contract at the moment. Closed sales, though, are down. So homes are pending, but the ones actually getting across the finish line closing are lower right now. So a 5% decrease. I didn't see that one coming, if I'm being honest with you. I think what you got going on there is kind of just a lag in the market data. I think you're going to see that number catch up next month once all these pending sales turn into closed sales. Okay. So I think that's just a temporary blip in the data. And I think that there was just a slow month there where not a lot went under contract. And that's what you're seeing. We saw kind of a pause, like a reset almost in the market about 2 months ago. Where it noticeably shifted and homes started sitting longer. And so I think that that's why you're seeing the closed sales down. Days on market. How long is it taking to sell a home right here, right now in Snohomish County? It's up to 18 days, still very fast, historically speaking. I remember the days of 2009 and 2010 when it would take 8 to 9 months to sell a house. So we're nowhere near that. But it is, higher. It's a lot higher. It's 38% higher. This timing really does depend on your location and your price range. So certain price ranges, in particular the lower price ranges, are definitely selling still very, very quickly. And then the higher price ranges or those outlying areas, those are the ones that you're seeing sitting for a longer period of time. Okay. So this all lends itself into a market that is becoming buyer friendly. Like it's been a seller friendly market for years, like as long as I can remember, go back like 2018, 2017 even. But that is changing, and it's changing in real time. We're seeing buyer opportunities that we have not seen in years. Just earlier this week, I had a client put an offer in contingent on selling their house. Contingent offers are a very big deal right now, and they're being accepted all over. And we got them $25,000 in closing cost credits. They were able to use that to pay for a 2-1 buy down, which got them an interest rate at 4.5% for the first year, 5.5% the second year, and then 6.5% for the rest of the loan. Gives them kind of a chance for rates to come down potentially and refinance, but keep that payment low in the meantime. So $25,000 just in free cash because the market has changed, it has pivoted. We're seeing deals like this happening all over the place right now. So buyers, this could be your time. Median sales price. I tend to look just at the average sales price. The average sales price is $925. Obviously super expensive to buy a house in Snohomish County. It's only up about 1%. And I think we're going to see that number kind of flatline and then dip off a little bit as we go into the later part of the year, just because inventory is going up and it's going up significantly. When inventory goes up, prices tend to flatten or even go down a little bit. So that's kind of the thing we want to keep watching. People always ask me, like, is the market going to go down? And my crystal ball to the market going down or up is inventory. When inventory goes down, prices go up. When inventory goes up, prices go down, or they're flat. So just kind of keep that in mind. Those two things kind of work in opposition of each other. But you can still buy a home for $500,000 or $600,000. That's kind of the good news. You just need to be not super picky about your area. Maybe be open to areas like Granite Falls, Gold Bar, Sultan, places like that. Potentially Marysville has some value as well still. It's those more expensive markets like Snohomish, Monroe, Everett has gotten expensive, Linwood. Those are going to be tough to make work if your budget is lower. So like if you can afford $600,000, you can totally buy a house. Don't be intimidated by that $900,000 number. You just need to be realistic about locations and then features of the home. One of the biggest mistakes that I see buyers making right now, and I've seen this for a couple of years actually, is they wait to buy the dream house. And it's really a mistake. The average person buys 4 to 5 homes during their lifetime. And so you need to look at your first home as just getting your foot in the door, right? Start building equity, start getting the benefits of appreciation, start bringing stability to your family where you're not moving around from rental to rental to rental and changing school districts and things like that on your kids. But just get your foot in the door and buy something, okay? It doesn't need to be the dream house, and it really shouldn't be the dream house when it's your first home. It's just a progression. It's a step towards the dream house later on. It should be a home that you're going to be comfortable in for the next 3 to 5 years, and then you can upgrade from there once the market has gone up and you've made some appreciation on it, okay? Percent of list price received, 100.8%. And that's down about 1.7%. You can see it was like 102% last year. And I actually think this number is going to change a lot in the next few months as more sales close, because there's deals being had right now, okay? Like deals are getting done under list price. Closing cost concessions are being definitely thrown out there for buyers right now for things like that 2-1 buy down. So just be aware of that. Inventory of homes, like this is the biggest number I want to bring your attention to out of this entire market report, up 47%. There is a ton of more homes on the market right now. They're not selling super fast. They're just kind of sitting there. I think the days on market is going to change and go up quite a bit once all these homes actually go under contract. We're seeing this pause in the market where buyers are just kind of evaluating their options. Like, does it make sense to buy? Should I wait to buy? And buyers, stop trying to time the market. It's like trying to time the stock market too. Like move when it makes sense to move, buy a house when it makes sense to buy a house. But you can't time real estate. Like it's not possible. Okay. Now is an awesome time to buy because you've got inventory. Like you've got options that you have not had in 6 or 7 years, and there's no competition. Like contingent deals are getting done if you got to buy and sell at the same time. This is an awesome, huge opportunity. The best opportunity I've seen for buyers since 2017, without question. So if you've been waiting as a buyer, this is your time. Months of inventory supply, 2.1 months. So we're north of 2 months now. This is a big deal. It was 1.5 last year. So a 40% jump. And when we get to about a 4-month inventory supply of homes, we are officially in a buyer's market. So we're quickly heading that direction. So this is a really good number to keep your eye on. If this number keeps going up, you can expect prices to flatten or even go down a little bit. Okay. So right now, we know that in the Northwest, right here in Snohomish County, affordability is the biggest challenge. When you put together the average home price with higher interest rates, like 6.5%, the payment is pretty significant. If you can't afford $4,000 to $4,500 a month, you're going to struggle to buy a house. The payment on a 925 is like $6,500 a month, depending on how much you put down. So just be aware of that. This is becoming a market where people need to buy with a family member. They need to get creative on, having multi-gen living going on, or they need like 2 income earners in the family that make decent money to be able to afford to buy a house. Just the reality of it right now. So you can still do 0 down loans. You just need to be aware that the payment is going to be at least at that $4,000 number or higher. That's going to get you like an entry-level house, just to be very clear. So what are the takeaways here? If you're a seller, expect your home to sit longer. That's just the hard reality of it. And what a home has closed for doesn't really matter. That's what's shocking. Is what matters is what's actively on the market right now. How much are they listed for? Are they moving? And what's your competition? You got to price to your competition, not to what sold earlier this year. All right. Because you've got people reducing prices, getting aggressive on pricing. You need to be competitive with them. But if you need to make a move, obviously it's not a terrible time to sell. We just need to be aware and be realistic. The home's going to sit for longer than you may be expecting. Okay. Like most people are so used to homes selling in like a week that if their home sits for 2 months, they're like shocked. But that's still relatively quick considering real estate and the history of real estate. Okay. Usually real estate is not considered a liquid asset because it takes time to sell it. Okay. Just want to highlight that. So that's for sellers. For buyers, man, this is your shot. Like you can get a great deal. You got options. You're not looking at 1 or 2 homes in your location and price range. You're looking at like 5 or 6. Pick the best one, put in a couple offers, negotiate hard, get an aggressive agent, and you're going to do awesome. If you're buying and selling at the same time, contingent offers are back. You can totally do that. Not a big deal. You just need to have your house ready to go. Because if you get your offer accepted on the buy side and you got to sell, you only have 5 business days to get your house listed. Super fast. So we typically coach our contingent buyers to get their home ready and then start shopping at that point. That way they can stay within that 5-day rule that they're required to comply with, but they're not rushing their home to the market. Like it still looks really good. Okay. So that's your market report for the month. I'm going to be back next month with an update for you. I think it's going to keep changing pretty quick, but I want to be your source for information so you know exactly what's going on and you can separate fact from fiction. Catch you next month.